Friends, I welcome you to my channel. Before listening to this story, I will ask you to like and subscribe. It is not difficult for you, but it is pleasant for me. And we're starting. Good night. Merry Christmas. Thank you for coming. My wife and I waved when our last guest at the party came off our porch. Amy and I regularly hosted a holiday party for the neighbors. The parties started with just 4 couples and have grown steadily over the years. This year there were more than 35 participants, and about a third of them did not live in our neighborhood. I assume that the increase in attendance was largely due to the increasingly heavy consumption of alcohol and the silly, naughty games that became a long-awaited event. Every year the games became a little more risky, but they never went too far. Like Amy and me, most of the members were between 25 and 35 years old, and most had a couple of kids, so it wasn't exactly the wild and crazy band you could hang out with in college. They were just good, hard-working young parents who needed to let their hair down for one night a year. The ladies in the neighborhood always brought more food than the partygoers could ever eat, and all the husbands and I made sure there was plenty of booze. So when a few neighbors started bringing friends from outside the neighborhood, there was nothing special about it. Well, there was nothing special about it until this year. This year, without telling me anything, my wife invited several of her colleagues to the party. Among those she invited was Ron Stevens. Ron was her teammate in their company's external sales department. He and Amy have been working together for the last 5 years and have become very close. Maybe a little too close if my suspicions were accurate. They often traveled together and attended weekly external sales conferences twice a year. Just a few days before the party, he was the subject of some pretty heated conversations in our family. His presence in my house prevented me from enjoying the evening. I helped Amy clean up the house and take out the trash. When I returned, she was just finishing up in the kitchen. It's time to deal with her. So, what made you think that inviting Ron and your other colleagues to our neighborhood party was a good idea? I like these people, so I thought it would be fun to invite them here. I think they all had fun and got along well with everyone else. What's the problem here? Is it really Amy? You know how I feel about your relationship with this guy, and you invited him into my house? This is my house too, Mark. I can invite anyone I want to my party. I don't need your permission. So, do you think it's okay to embarrass me by flaunting your boyfriend at my house in front of your colleagues and our friends? Do you think I haven't seen your colleagues' smirks and raised eyebrows? What are you talking about? I've told you 50 times, Ron's not my boyfriend. No one was grinning at you. It's all just your stupid jealousy, and I'm already fed up with it. Do you think no one saw you sneak upstairs with him? What were you doing, Amy? Why did you need to be upstairs alone with Mr. Wonderful? Fuck you. We didn't make it upstairs. He needed a toilet, and the bathroom downstairs was occupied. I just showed him the guest bathroom. I wasn't up for more than a minute or two. God, you're getting ridiculous. Another lie. You disappeared for more than 30 minutes. I know because your lecherous accomplice, Gail, tried to keep me busy so I wouldn't notice you sneaking off with Ron. I saw what she was doing, so I watched the clock. You're crazy! Gail was probably just trying to be friendly. God only knows why she tried so hard with you. I noticed that she did not respond to the accusation of lying. She was a skilled negotiator, but apparently a less skilled liar. Amy, surprising me by inviting your boyfriend here was a low blow in the last straw. I will no longer put up with your lies and disrespect. I turned and strode up the steps while she poured out more lies and insults. I went to our bathroom and started collecting some of my toiletries. When I was putting my things in my bag, I dropped my deodorant. I bent down and had to dig through the trash to get it out, and caught a flash of gold foil. My heart clenched and my hand froze. I took a deep breath and grabbed the foil. Damn it, it was a condom wrapper. The game is over. I had a vasectomy after the birth of our second child, so I didn't need condoms. Now I knew that everything I suspected was true. She cheated on me. Amy burst through the open bathroom door, continuing to hurl insults and saying that I was paranoid. I stood with my back to her and slowly turned to face her, holding the foil in front of me. It's not paranoia when it's true. Oh shit. Someone must have put this in as some kind of joke. It's not what you think. I didn't do anything. Stop. Just stop lying. It's over, Amy. I've had enough. Don't dream about it. It's not over yet. It was a mistake. This was not part of my plans. Yes, I know you didn't plan that I would find evidence of your deception. It was a big mistake. No, that's not what I mean. Please let me explain what happened. I think it's pretty damn obvious what happened. You sneaked out of the party and made love to your boyfriend while I was downstairs entertaining your friends. Was it particularly exciting? No, it wasn't like that at all. Please, baby, please let me explain. This is not what I planned. I put the foil in my pocket. Amy stumbled to the side as I pushed past her. I heard her trying to catch me when I entered the guest bedroom and slammed the door in her face. I pressed the lock just as Amy reached for the handle. Mark, please, you have to let me explain. It's not what you think. Please, Mark, please open the door. You have to talk to me. Please open the door. I was sure she didn't know how to pick the door lock, but I pushed the chest of drawers to the door just in case. Amy was banging on the door and begging me to open it until I turned on the TV and turned up the volume. It was difficult to fall asleep. I replayed in my head every time Amy worked late, went on overnight sales trips, and attended conferences. Has she been making love to Ron all this time? Shit. It was too painful to imagine, but it seemed to be real. A tear rolled down my cheek, and my stomach clenched when I thought about having to tell my little girls that their mom and dad were breaking up. Heck, how could she do this to our children? How could she be so selfish? What could make her fall in love with another man? Was I a bad husband? Why? Why is this happening? Questions, doubts, pain, disappointment. It was excruciating. I hardly slept. It seemed like only a few minutes had passed since the morning sun burst through the window, mocking me. I threw back the covers and got out of bed. I had a lot to do this Sunday morning. I pushed aside the chest of drawers and went out into the hall. The door to the room was open. I bent down just enough to see that Amy was still sprawled across the bed. I closed the door and went to the guest bathroom to clean up. I got dressed and went to the kitchen for coffee. I was just taking my cup to the table when Amy came in. She looked terrible. Her eyes were swollen. Her hair was a mess, her nose was red, and I think she was suffering from a hangover. But damn it, she still seemed beautiful to me. My stomach clenched with another wave of pain. Heck, how could this happen to us? Is there enough for me for a cup? Help yourself, I said, pointing to the counter. Her coffee cup was next to the coffee pot. I had already poured into the cup exactly the amount of skimmed milk that she liked, as I did every morning. Damn it, I didn't even realize I'd done it. She poured herself a cup of coffee, took it to the table, and sat down opposite me. Mark, I screwed up. I thought I was being so smart. I thought it would be a lesson to you, but now I realize that I've ruined everything. I'm a fool. I just wanted to shock you, but everything went wrong. I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve to be treated like this. You have every right to be angry with me. Well, thank you for giving me your permission to be angry. That's so generous of you. You invite your boyfriend to my house knowing that the house is full of our friends and your colleagues. God, it's really generous of you to let me get mad about this. No, dear, please let me explain from the beginning. It's a little late to explain your plans. Me and all our neighbors should have watched you put your plan into action last night. Oh my God. Amy jumped up and ran to my chair. She pulled on one side of the chair, turning me away from the table, quickly straddled me and wrapped her arms around my neck. Please, baby, you have to let me explain this, please. Just give me 5 minutes. Please, Mark. I jerked my head away from her face, from her lips, when she tried to kiss me on the cheek. As she pleaded with me, tears streamed down her face. I was so angry. I almost got up and dumped her on her cheating ass, but I knew I could never physically hurt her. Even if she deserved it, I just couldn't do it. I mean, what kind of cowardly weakling would I have to be to physically harm a woman? I took a deep breath and exhaled slowly. Okay, Amy, 5 minutes. Now please get off me. 5 minutes, and I'm not moving. I can't risk you leaving before I tell you everything. I lifted my left wrist and looked at my watch. Now I know it was really stupid, but it was all just a sham last night until that dumb Ron did something stupid. I raised an eyebrow. All right. You've been complaining about Ron for months. You've repeatedly said that you don't trust him, and therefore you didn't believe that I could handle this jerk. Even if I told you that I had no interest in him, you wouldn't believe me. It was like you thought I was a naive little teenage girl who couldn't resist a smarmy salesman. Ha! As if I'd ever buy into his lines or any other shitty guy. Okay, I admit that he really tried to hit on me like a lot of other guys. Heck, sometimes even some of my clients pester me, thinking that I could sweeten the deal just to make a sale. Mark, I'm not a dog, I know what I look like. And I know guys will always try, but I always do. Always, I say no. Of course, I've learned to say no with a sweet smile so as not to hurt anyone's ego. but it's always a firm no. So after it seemed like the 40th or 50th time you started pestering me about some shit, I just got mad and decided to show you how stupid you were acting. So I came up with a plan and asked Ron and Gail to help me. I knew you saw me going upstairs with Ron, in fact. We had to wait until you finished filling the bowl with ice so you'd be facing the stairs when we made our move. Gail should have been so obvious that you immediately realized that she was our distraction while we were making our way upstairs. Everything worked out exactly as I had planned. I took Ron to our room and put him in my chair. I was sitting on the bed and waiting for you to burst into the room. After a few minutes, I realized that you would not go to save me or confront me. At that moment, I was too drunk to realize how much I had hurt you. I guess I thought you'd just given up on us, and I started crying. Ron came up to me, pulled me into his arms, and let me cry on his shoulder. After a few minutes, I realized that he was stroking my back and my hair. I stopped crying and started to pull away from him, but he kissed me. I must have been a few seconds late with my reaction, and he took it as a green light. I pushed him in the chest, and he broke off the kiss, but still clung to me. I pushed harder, and we broke away from each other. I growled at him and asked what the hell he was doing. He grinned and said, "Oh please, I know that the plan was just a ploy to lure me here. Well, now we're here, so let's get down to business." While he was talking, Ron pulled down his pants. I bent down, took off my heel and threw it at him, hitting him in the chest. He shuddered and looked at me, finally seeing my outraged face. Then he just turned around and ran into the bathroom. Baby, I had no idea that this dumb guy would pull such a shit. I told Gail what he'd done and she kicked his ass and made him leave with her. I can call her and she will confirm all this. I just looked at her. I got up very slowly, hugging her with one arm and taking her off my lap. I let her go, picked up my cup and went to the coffee maker. When I refilled my cup, she slipped in next to me. "Mark, please talk to me. I know you're mad about what I did, but I didn't cheat. I told you what happened. I never touched him. Like most of us, he was a little drunk last night and screwed up. Kissing and exposing myself was definitely not in my plans. He's stupid. I don't want to cause any problems at work, but on Monday at the office, Gail and I will make sure that he suffers for his stupidity." "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Will you ever be able to forgive me?" I studied her for a moment. "So you're saying that you staged your little secret climb up the stairs so that I'd be sure to witness it. You assumed I'd be so angry that I'd rush into our bedroom to stop my wayward wife from making love to the guy on my bed. Then, when I would burst into the room and find the two of you just sitting there chatting innocently, I assume you were planning to laugh and make fun of me for being a jealous spouse. Let me guess. Was Gail going to lead the rest of your colleagues up the stairs after me so they could all join in the laughter at your stupid paranoid husband? Maybe the whole group would make such a scene that all the other party members would rush to see what was going on, and then all my friends and neighbors could join in laughing at the jealous buffoon? So that was your plan? Did you think that by humiliating me in front of everyone, you would teach me once and for all to trust you and never doubt your loyalty to me? Well, I just wanted you to finally realize how wrong you were about Ron, how you kept drawing the wrong conclusions and how much it hurt me when you believed these things about me. I guess I thought our joke would be an effective way to show you how wrong you were. So when I didn't run up the stairs and burst in on you two, it ruined your fun and made you so angry that you needed to punish me in another way. So you've come up with a great way to teach me a lesson. Show me who's in charge here. Put me in my place." Amy turned pale. What do you mean? What is the lesson? What are you talking about?" "You know. In fact, you let Ron use you on my bed while I was downstairs playing host. It must have been a really delicious revenge for messing up your plans. Oh dear God, here we are again. I told you what happened." "Yes, you told me the version of what happened, not the full version because you missed a few details. I'm sure you and Gail spent a lot of time last night reworking this version to include some of the truth. There is just enough truth to make the version plausible." I have no idea what you're talking about." "Look, Mark, I said I was wrong. Please, baby, let's just forget about my stupid plan and stop fighting." "Oh, I don't think so," I said, and pulled a plastic bag out of my pocket. "It was your revenge. This is the part of your story that you didn't tell me. It proves that I can't trust anything you've told me." Amy looked at the bag, trying to see what was in it. I picked it up, letting it sway slightly in my fingers. She narrowed her eyes. Then she saw. I smiled at the shock on her face. "He's really dumb. He tied it before flushing it. The trapped air bubble held him on the water. I got up in the middle of the night to go pee and found him floating in the toilet. The jerk never bothered to check if he was washed away. Oh my God. Amy stared at me, her mouth hanging open. Yes, I guess when I didn't throw myself into your little trap, you were so angry that you decided to teach me a lesson. Then after you made love, you realized that I shouldn't know about it. So you kicked him out of the house, and later you called Gail and worked out a story that you told me. I'm guessing Gail's been on the phone all morning, spooning your version of events to your buddy. I'm sorry that I lied to you. You're right. When you didn't rush upstairs, I lost my temper and wanted to punish you. I was just drunk enough not to think twice about letting that dumb Ron take advantage of me by leaning over our bed. It seemed like a good way to teach you a lesson. I know, it's stupid, right? Damn, everything I did was stupid. My plan to embarrass you was stupid. Fucking Ron was a dumbass. I really messed up everything. When she lowered her head and cried, I thought about what it meant for our future. Was this the end for us? Will I be able to survive a one-time event generated by anger and frustration that I helped fuel with my constant doubts? Doubt. It's a gnawing feeling in my gut that something was wrong. Many months ago, I knew that something had changed. Amy had changed. But how? Why did I believe she was messing with Ron? Why was she willing to go to such extremes to make me see that Ron was never a threat? At least until she let intoxication and her anger get the better of her last night. And the fact that she decided that secretly making love to Ron was the appropriate punishment for me messing up her plan. It wasn't the Amy I married. When did it become so meaningless to her that she could use it as a symbolic punishment? Oh shit, oh shit. Heck. I looked at her sobbing figure. She has become a skillful manipulator. Gail must have taught her the subtle art of negotiating using all her abilities. Gail, her mentor. A woman who consistently outperformed all her male competitors. Gail, now an aging sales manager, took young Amy under her wing. Gail showed Amy how to win all negotiations with her male clients. Heck, how could I be so blind? I was so proud of her for suddenly taking a leading position in sales. She has received many awards and bonuses over the past few years. Gail has been her biggest cheerleader. The bonuses allowed us to start funding college for our children and pay all our bills. But at what cost? Time for some answers. I slowly started clapping my hands. Bravo, bravo, it was a real performance. Such quick thinking. Gail taught you well. It didn't take you long to realize that you lost the fight with Ron. So you're offering me these tearful apologies, hoping that I'll focus on your only mistake. A mistake you made in the heat of the moment and being slightly drunk. A mistake that you're pretty sure you can convince the father of your children to forgive, for the sake of the children. I have to admit that this is a pretty good strategy. You know that I am hopelessly devoted to my girls and would do anything for them. So you're counting on me to be willing to sacrifice my outrage over the mistake, so as not to cause heartache to my innocent children. And why not? I mean, now you've confessed your cruel plan to teach me a lesson by humiliating me. And you confessed to the mistake you made in drunken frustration when I thwarted your plan. You took the blame for all this and asked me to forgive you. Oh my God, what else could you have done? The tears stopped. Amy froze in place, studying my face, trying to read my unspoken thoughts. She didn't say a word. I could practically see her mind frantically figuring out what this was all about and how she could regain control of the situation. Amy, I believe what you told me about Ron and what happened at the party. I'm sorry that I suspected you of having an affair with him. Yes, baby, it was the only time, I swear. It was a stupid mistake, and I promise I will never come into contact with that dumbass again. Please, honey, can we just put all this behind us? I love you so much. Please, baby, please. Even if I said that I was ready to forgive you for trying to humiliate me, and forgive you with another man in our marital bed, there is still a problem with everyone else. What? What do you mean by that? What are the others? I have to admit, it took me too long to figure it out. As soon as I met Gail and heard all the rumors about her, I should have seen this coming, but I trusted you. Then later, when my gut kept telling me something was wrong, I thought it was Ron. I was wrong about Ron, but I had every reason to worry about you, isn't it? Worry? What do you mean by concern? I don't understand what you're talking about. I sighed wearily and leaned back in my chair, shaking my head. I'm so tired of cheating, half-truths, wagging. I had no actual proof of what she was doing, but I knew. Deep down, I knew that I had lost her a few months ago. My sweet love, the woman I hope to love for the rest of my life, is gone. There is no doubt that Gail showed her the way to wealth and rewards, but it was Amy who decided to follow this path. She voluntarily decided to disregard her vows and do it. And for what? Her ego? A few extra dollars? Cheap thrills? To hell with it, it doesn't matter why she did it. Amy, I know what you're doing. I know how you close so many sales. I can't even begin to tell you how much it hurts me to know who you've become. The shock on her face was the only confirmation I needed. It was short, but I saw it before she could pull herself together and smile at me. Mark, darling, I thought we were done with this nonsense. I've admitted my only mistake with Ron, but I have no idea what you're talking about right now. I don't know what you think you know, but I just want to stop all this crazy talk and get on with our lives. Now we need to get cleaned up and go get your daughters. I know they love your parents, but I'm sure they miss their dad. So that's exactly what we did. I spent the rest of the day admiring my girls and considering my options. On Monday, I went to a lawyer and filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. My lawyer told me not to hold my breath and not to count on it much, but still she filled out a petition asking for joint custody of the girls with me as the primary guardian. I asked to serve Amy at work to make sure it caught Gail's attention. In the middle of the day, my phone rang immediately after I received confirmation that she had been served. Mark, have you lost your mind? Are you going to divorce me because of this shit with Ron? It was pointless. It was wrong. It was stupid. And we talked about it all. Baby, you can't do this to our girls. You love them too much. Punish me in any way you want, but please don't destroy our family. I've already told you, Ron is just a small part of it. I just can't be married to the woman you've become. Crazy talk again. Baby, I'm worried about you. Obviously, it's hard for you to come to terms with my stupid mistake. I understand that, but this nonsense about divorce can hurt our girls. We have to get through this. Maybe a consultation would help us. Do you want me to arrange it? Sign the papers, Amy. Then you will be free to live your life as you wish. The girls and I will do fine on our own. They can stay with me while you travel, and you can see them as often as you want. Don't dream about it. There will be no damn divorce, and I would never let you take my girls away from me. You're going to stop this nonsense right now. If you fight with me over this, you'll be in trouble. Mark, I love you. Please don't make me fight you. An hour later, my phone rang and Gail called. I was expecting her call. Tell your protege to sign the papers. This is your only option. She signs the contract, the girls stay with me, and you keep pimping her out for your clients. Stupid boy. You have no proof that she ever did anything except once with Ron, and it had nothing to do with me. Come on, you seem smarter. I don't need proof. I just need to make this statement very loudly and publicly. She's done this so often that I'm sure at least one of your competitors will want to spend the time and energy to get the evidence they need to file a complaint. This will trigger an investigation, and you definitely don't want an investigation right now, do you? Will you do it? Would you destroy her just out of revenge? You know the girls will suffer too if anything comes out about their mother. She'll sign the papers or I'll go public. And Gail, if this becomes public, I will definitely include your participation in training and counseling. Do you think the board of directors will have any questions for you? Tell her to sign it, and she'll listen to you. My lawyer received the signed papers a week later. Amy moved into a nice apartment about 2 miles from our house. She often sees the girls and usually attends all their school and sports events. We rarely talk, and as far as I know, she still uses all her assets to close sales and win awards. A week ago, I saw Gail and Amy leaving a nice restaurant. I just pulled into the parking lot when they came to the car. Gail opened the door and then turned back to Amy. She pulled her in and they kissed passionately. I sat there for a few minutes. Once again, Amy surprised me. Damn, how could I not know that she likes girls? This certainly explained why Gail had such a big influence on her. I probably never really knew her, but I'm sure I'm glad to get rid of her. I do not know if I will ever get married again, but if I find myself thinking about it, I will definitely ask a lot of questions before I put a ring on my beloved's finger. The lesson is learned.